Hello guys and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. Today we're going to be looking at Sid Meier's Civilization 5. I love this game. Like the Sid Meier's just, the whole series in general, I love this game. I started in Civilization 4, got all the DLC, same for Civilization 5. And I figured I'd try something new, because I usually do stuff like Isaac, you know, FTL, stuff like that. It's much quicker, like Let's Plays, much quicker games. Stuff that I have to do multiple parts of, whereas with this, I want to do one Let's Play, and for anybody that's a big fan of Civilization, they know Civilization is a long game, a really long game, so I feel like we're going to be covering a lot of parts, so I'm probably going to cut these up in like half an hour installments, maybe an hour, depends on, you know, how long the Let's Play actually lasts and how long it goes on for per, like, recording session, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a single player game. We're going to set up a game here. I'm going to set it to, I'm not going to lie, alright, I'll admit it, I play on easy. I play on Warlord, because I'm not very good, to be honest, but just this once, because it's considering it's a Let's Play, and I don't want it to be too easy, because Warlord is kind of easy. You have to try really hard to screw up on Warlord, so we're going to play on Prince, which is normal difficulty. I do usually play as the Celts. I also sometimes play as the Isabella, because of the culture bonus, but I think I'm going to play random, because I feel like with each different leader, you get different buffs, and that can sometimes dictate what path you go down, whether you go down the science path, the culture path, the gold path, the gold route, you know, whichever route you want to go down, kind of depends on the leader in a lot of cases. So we're going to go with random leader, we're going to go huge map, 24 city states, 12 players, standard game pace, and we're going to go with a 12 players, one civilization, and we are good to go. So let's hope I get somebody I recognise, because otherwise, because this is going to be difficult. I've never played on Prince before, so let's give this a try.
Your people kneel before you, exalted King Pakal the Great, favourite son of the gods, and shield to the citizens of the Palenque domain. After years of strife at the hands of your neighbouring rivals, you struck back at the enemies of your people, sacrificing their leaders in retribution for the insults dealt to your predecessors. The glory of Palenque was restored only by the guidance afforded by your wisdom, as you orchestrated vast reconstruction efforts within the city, creating some of the greatest monuments and architecture your people and the world have ever known. Illustrious King, your people once again look to you for leadership and counsel in the coming days. Will you channel the will of the gods and restore your once proud kingdom to its greatest heights? Will you build new monuments to forever enshrine the memories of your people? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Okay, the Mayans. Not a civilization I think I've ever played, so this is going to be very interesting. So, our perk for the Mayans is we get the long count. After researching theology, receive a bonus great person at the end of every Mayan long count calendar cycle, every 394 years. Each bonus person can only be chosen once. Okay. Honestly, I don't think that's the best perk in the world, just because, considering I only get to pick one great person, like, each type, so you got, like, painter, writer, scientist, merchant, and I think there's another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. General. Considering you can only put one of each type, it can't really force me down a certain path, which means we can be a little bit flexible with what path we go down, but I think in the start game, it doesn't matter that much for now. So, I think we'll go ahead and start. Some people like to put the warrior close, like leave the warrior close to their base, like throughout the start of the game, just in case for barbarians. I like to play a bit greedy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my warrior on automatic scout. That way he will find ruins. Whenever you find a ruin, there's a chance you will get a free upgrade. Sometimes it gives you money, sometimes it gives you culture, sometimes it will upgrade the warrior, or you know, whatever you're sending to a better unit. Basically, these are things that can greatly impact how well your early game is going to go, so I'm going to try to collect as many of these as I can before other civilizations can get to them. We're going to start off by building a worker. If I wanted to do a culture rush, I might start off by building a monument, but that really slows down your growth, it really slows down the rest of your game, and I feel like as the Mayans, we don't have the perks that say Isabella or Boudica or people like that would have, as far as really rushing down the culture route. So I feel like we're better off just playing standard rather than going for any type of particular rush. So if you look here, we've got deers, we've got elephants here, and the silk here. We can't get these right now, but as our culture will expand, these tiles will become available to us, and we will be able to get both of these. So trapping is definitely something that we want to focus on right now. Everything else is pretty much fine, so we can go with anything here. I think I'm probably going to go with... Well, that'll get me a granary. Is production of rare bananas and deer. So I think we're going to go with poetry here. Poetry. Bit early for poetry, I think. I think we'll start off with pottery, mainly because as we get these deer here, we can research granary, and we can get an extra 1%, an extra 1 growth here for deers. So I think we'll go with that, and we can go ahead and skip to the next turn. I'll be very interested to see what our neighbouring civilizations are going to be, because I haven't played in a while, but there is a couple of civilizations that I am kind of scared of, and I'd rather not deal with. Okay, first ruins. You have found cultural artifacts which all your citizens, you have received 20 culture. Okay, so we're only 4 turns away from getting a policy. I think it's called a policy. Yeah, I think so. So basically the way policy works is it will give you certain bonuses towards what type of civilization you want to make. Say if you want a heavy, like, dictator-based civilization, you can get stuff like honor, which, gives you, like, combat bonuses, and every barbarian you kill, you might get a little bit of gold or a little bit of culture and stuff like that. If you want to go down liberty, if you want to go down the religious route, that I believe is piety, although I think that's a little bit later in the game, you'll get, like, religious buffs and faith boosts and stuff like that. Whereas with culture, you'll be getting, like, stuff like tourism, like, boosts to, like, tourism and how much tourism you, like, output per turn. Same for culture and stuff like that. So we'll get to that once we come across with it. So far we're just going to start cycling through turns, because there's not a whole lot we can do right now because we don't have any workers. So we'll just let these play out. Hopefully we can get some more ruins. Hopefully this doesn't end up in a dead end, because that will waste a lot of turns for my warriors, and I would like to get some more ruins, but we'll see how it goes. I've got a sneaking suspicion I'm probably going to hit a dead end here, but there's definitely a lot of silk and a lot of deer. Alright, so there's our policy. Okay, so traditional is best for small empires, liberty is better for, like, rapid expansion, honor is, like I said, the more dictatorial one, the more one when you're focused on fighting, and piety, turns out piety is early, is the one where it's going to be based on faith. Now, piety is good if you want to go down the culture, and so's liberty. So's tradition, actually, in some parts. But I'm going to go down liberty. The reason being, as you go down the liberty tech tree, you get republic, citizenship, and collective rule. Now, what I like about collective rule is it's a free settler, which means we'll be able to expand really fast, which is kind of what we need to kind of keep up with the other civilizations. Plus, here we'll get extra production in our main city, and we'll also get citizenship, which will increase our tile improvement construction rate by 25%, and another worker will appear near the capital. So it can't be bad, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll get liberty, and then we'll skip ahead to a next turn. Okay, so the only good thing about being in an area like this is there is a lot of sea tiles, so if we want to go down a more naval front later in the game, we can do that. It actually might not be a terrible idea, because there is a lot of sources of food here, like the fish. There's no whales or anything nearby, some more fish here, but I think that's definitely something that we will do. Okay, so our capital city has grown. The city of Palenque, I don't know, now has 2 citizens. The new citizen will automatically work for land near the city for additional food, production, or gold. So basically, the more we grow, the faster we construct things, is basically how that works. So in the early game, it's definitely good to start focusing on growth early. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Okay, so it looks like my warrior's going to start heading back now, which is fine, because that is what he needs to do, because there'll be nothing down here now for him. So in the early game, your units can't go on sea tiles, so that's fine. Looks like we've expanded slightly here, so we can now get the elephants if we want to. We will get trapping at some point. I do think, however, we will get... I think we might get archery next, which we will be doing next turn, but we'll see what happens.
Shall the clay say to him that fashioneth it, what makest thou?
Alright, so we've got the pottery here. We can get the granary, which each sort of wheat put down as in deer, worked by the city, produces +1 growth. Allows food to be moved from this city, along trade routes inside your civilization. So, again, the granary is something really good to get. The pyramid is a wonder that, if you're going down the faith route, it can be good, but I kind of prefer the oracle if you are going to go down the faith route. So, I don't think we'll be investing too much into getting the pyramid. So, I don't think we'll be getting that. Allows your city, provide food, helping your cities grow. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. I think we'll get 2 workers. I don't want to expand too fast, even though we are going down the Liberty route, so I think we'll get 2 workers, and we will then get a granary, I think. But we do want to make sure that this has worked. So we will be getting animal husbandry next, because that will lead to trapping. So if you look at animal husbandry, we can get a caravan so we can do trades. Right now we don't know any civilization, so this would be useless to us, but this can be useful. It's something in civilization I don't really use that often, and maybe I should. Maybe it is really valuable, and I just don't use it. So this will reveal horses on the map. Good for cavalry units. I'm not a big fan of cavalry units, to be honest, because I feel like no matter how powerful the cavalry unit gets, they're always kind of hard counted by spearmen, and spearmen are kind of a staple for most civilizations as you get to like the early, like just slightly past the early game. A lot of them just get spearmen like standardly. So I'm not a big fan of getting cavalry. Constructing a pasture is, you know, pretty good. I think it's something that we're going to need for like deers and ivory and stuff like cows and stuff like that we'll find further down the road. And we can also establish additional trade routes, so it's okay. But mainly, animal husbandry is just a way to get to trapping and the wheel and, you know, stuff that we actually value a lot more. So that's fine. Okay, so there's bison, which is really good because that'll give us a nice boost to growth. There's a lot of growth here, actually, so this is actually not too bad. So I'm fine with this. These desert tiles here are kind of what you don't want, mainly because they don't provide anything. As you look here, you can see that these provide, like, plains, production, bit of growth, grassland, like, it's just pure growth, grassland on a hill. I think that's just hill, but that provides, like, 2 to production. But deserts don't provide anything, so they're the kind of thing that you don't want. But hey, that's okay. We'll work around it. Okay, so that's our worker. We're going to set him on... Okay, well, we're going to do the deer right now, so we're just going to go ahead and construct a farm. I can set these on automatic, and I think I will further down the road, but at least for now, I want to prioritise certain things, and I want to prioritise growth, so I don't want to build there just yet. I want to build here and then here. Okay, so... I'm just checking out this unit because I haven't checked it out before. Gee. It's not a terrible unit, but if I head downwards to here for when I expand, I have like a choke point here for barbarians that appear around here. Of course, the barbarians might spawn down here, and if that's the case, it's going to be a bit unfortunate. But basically, we need to choose. Do we want to? Are these bisons worth like going up here and messing about these desert tiles, or should we go downwards and, you know, work towards getting these fish tiles as well as these animal husbandry tiles, which we can take now? So these cattle plus 3 growth. It's tempting. It's definitely tempting. I think obviously this mountain's a bit of an issue. It's kind of the same as the desert. It doesn't provide anything. So if we put our next city probably here, I think we might just miss out on the mountain. Of course, we'll have to fill up the mountain at some point anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but that's fine. I think we'll go with... Yeah, we'll just build another worker, I think. We'll stick to the original plan. Additionally, if we do get a new city, we could build it here. That way we do get the bison and we miss out on these desert tiles. Seems to be a lot of hills around here though. That doesn't help towards our... It'll increase production, which is always, you know... Increasing production isn't a bad thing, but I do think in the early game focusing on growth is probably our best bet. But we'll see. King Solomon's Mines. Discovering of King Solomon is increased happiness in the Empire. Output if worked is +6 to production. +6 to production. That's a big boost. It is jungle too, and jungle is really nice for growth. But it's a little far away from my original settlement. Something to consider. The only problem is if you have cities that are too far away from each other, like establishing trade routes and roads and stuff like that can be a bit of a hassle. But I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so they've got 2 more turns before they finish constructing the farm. Okay, I think these guys are going to be forced to fight soon, which is fine. We do beat the barbarians. In fact, we beat them even better than that. It's just the fact that they have a to-win modifier right now. Okay, so 1 more turn, they should be done there. We should expand as well, so that's good. Which means we might get the silk here, which would be nice.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
Did we expand at all? I don't think we did. Oh well. Alright, so we got ourselves another Liberty Point. I think, since we're getting 2 workers straight away, we might not even get citizenship right away. Instead, we're going to get Republic. So we get +1 production in every city and a +5% production in cities when constructing buildings. The reason why we're going to get this is because production we're kind of low on because we are focusing on growth. Plus, the +5% production means we can build a granary faster. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Okay, now that you have finished, you can go ahead and start building the second farm over there. We can now pick our research and... Is it worth getting trapping now? Yeah, I'd say so. We have no forest, and we have no like mine veins or anything nearby, so I don't think these 2 are going to be particularly useful to us. We will have to get them eventually, but I think that's fine. So I think we will rush trapping, I think. An unknown civilization has started worshipping a pantheon of gods. They have chosen to believe sun god +1 food for each banana, citrus, and wheat resource. Depending on what civilization got that, that could be very scary. I can't remember what civilization it is, but I know one civilization gets tons of like that exact resource really early. I can't remember which one it is. Alright, so you can go ahead and start constructing a farm. It'll take 6 turns. Okay, that's fine. I am hoping to find a civilization soon, because I would like to become friends with a civilization as soon as possible, because, like I said, I've never played Prince before, so this is going to be a little bit scary, I think. I think I'm going to be mildly surprised on how quickly the civilizations are actually going to grow, and I don't want to be too far behind. Oh, hello. The Siams. Okay. That I wasn't expecting. Okay. Consul, I'm not pronouncing that. That is Wamhakang. 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 Wahang. I don't know. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, we like him. We can become friends with him at some point, but not right now. But at least we know he's there. Just don't come near my civilization, okay? Go over there somewhere. Ooh. Horses. Didn't notice that. Alright, well we could possibly trade those for something. I'm not going to be using horses, I don't think, so... Hey, if Sion wants horses, we can maybe trade him... Oh, hello. Oh. We might want to get away from this area. At least for now. In fact, that might actually force me to bring him back. I'm scared. If we build a granary, we're not going to be able to get an archer out anytime soon. The people that like to smile the most... Okay, so my men are the most unhappy. But in the early game, this doesn't necessarily matter, because as long as you're happy, there's no, like, really big debuffs. I know that happiness does increase production, but... I think that's okay. Is he heading down here? Yeah, I think he is. Well, we're going to have to stop him because he's going to halt production, so I think we're going to have to follow him. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, you're coming back home. Plus, if he's there, it means he's already scouted this area around here. So if there was any relics or anything like that, they've already been caught. Oh my God, there is barbarians everywhere. Okay. Okay, let's just get out of here. Double time. Because the problem with barbarians is they can steal your workers. And especially right now, we cannot afford that to happen. Like, at all. Because we have so much invested on these workers. See, should I play safe and get one of these? It is a really good unit. And it's only a unit that the Mayans can get. Every, like, civilization has a unit that's, like, super strong. But, obviously it's only... But, depending on what time period they're in, obviously they kind of fall off in the later game. So, because, like, these ain't particularly good, but they're a lot better than a normal archer, so... How many turns before trapping? 5? Granary takes 10 turns. But constructing the deer with my workers will probably take about 6 turns too. So I think we can afford to do it. So yeah, we'll play it safe. Because barbarians mess you up in the early game, and I can't afford for that to happen. Not in Prince difficulty, I don't think. Yeah, they're going to follow me too. Which means that you guys... 7 turns. I don't know. They might be built in time. Maybe. Scary though. Oh, snap! Ah, the barbarians right there though. If I go here, the barbarians could go here, and they could take my workers. Now, workers are alerted by barbarians. If they get close enough, the workers will run towards the city. They can't capture anything while they're like garrisoned inside the city, but that means that the barbarians could sack that, pillage that, which I'm not a big fan of. We need to take that though. If the Siams don't take that, like this turn, we're gonna gamble, I think, and get that. I'm hoping that these guys will be finished soon. Our growth is really good. Like, we're going up in our city's growth is going up like a lot, which is great. Screw it, we're getting it. Another barbarian camp? Okay. Yeah, we need to get a defensive front here. Hopefully all the other civilizations are going to be having this problem. Luckily, nothing has spawned down here that I've seen. So at least we've got that going for us. Oh wow, okay. These ruins are great. Like, I'm happy with these. Just as long as we can survive this onslaught here from these barbarians, we should be fine. Yeah, we'll get this. Plus 30 faith. Okay. I was slightly hoping that they would turn these into spearmen, because that would make this job a lot easier, but alas. Alright. So, research. Archery, mining, sailing. Well, I don't necessarily need the wheel right now. Sailing could be nice, but there's silk there, so Trapping's really all we need, at least for right now. Could go down here too. Okay, I do think we need calendar, but just because we're not in that much of a rush right now, we have all these like tiles to improve. I think we'll go with archery just to get out of the way, because we will have to get it eventually anyway. So I think that's fine. Okay, so because we have all our faith, we can get a pantheon now, which means we have a certain group of gods that we get to follow. After a while, once your faith goes up to a certain amount, you will adopt a religion, assuming another civilization hasn't already made the civilization that's powerful enough that your people have started worshipping it. But I don't think there's anybody close enough right now to make that an issue. Fertility rates, 10% faster growth rate is pretty good. Goddess of the Hunt, +1 food from camps. That's got to be good, right, for what we're doing right now. We have all of like these bisons, these horses, these deers. We got the ivory from the elephants. I don't think ivory counts as an animal camp. Maybe it does. But yeah, there's tons of camps that we can make here, so I think we'll go with Goddess of the Hunt, I think. Which is usually what you go for on when you play as Boudica, so... Can he hit me if I go there? Probably. I'm going to stand here. Okay, so now we can start building a granary. Did we already construct a camp here? We haven't. Oh, okay, it's just a tent. Alright, fair enough. Alright, we'll go ahead and do that then. Meanwhile, you're just going to have to sit tight for a little bit while we get this guy out of the way. We might actually go on the offensive. Okay, so we would like to set up an embassy in my capital, and he wants to give me a gold piece per turn, so basically he's giving me 30 coins in exchange for accepting his embassy. Basically I'm going to refuse this, the reason being because as soon as I get writing, you can basically do an even trade, where if he has an embassy in my capital, I can have an embassy in his capital, which I think is a much better deal to go with. So, no. I think we'll be refusing that, at least for now. We don't get any negative points or anything for that. And he's fine with us right now. As you can see, there's his score, there's my score. So he is slightly ahead, but I do think we will start shooting up soon with all these like camps and stuff like that we'll be making, so that's something. Alright, so we're going to start fighting these guys back. And then we can keep building. I should spend this money and get a another tile at some point. Really? He's just gonna... Okay. He kind of just gifted me a free unit there, but sure. Okay, now I can get in a proper, like, defensive position here. And you can get back to working on that. Okay, so I could heal him instantly, but there's quite a lot of open terrain here, and we are defending, so I'm going to go with Shock 1. Plus 15% combat strength when fighting in open terrain. So we'll go with that. And we'll just put on Fortify until healed. Same for you, just stay there, Fortify. I may as well finish that. How many turns is that going to take? 2 more turns? Alright, that's fine. If we do that now, we have horses that we can trade to Siam. I don't know how much he'll give us for those horses, but we'll see. We could do with a bit of gold, though, because that way we can get a tile. No. Okay, this is what I didn't want happening. Please don't break that. Be nice. Don't break the farm. I broke the farm. Why you gotta do that? Alright, fair enough.